Hi there, beautiful souls. Welcome to Elle's Temple. My name is Elle. I am a goddess guide, tarot reader, and holistic healer. And today I am going to be bringing you a very special tarot therapy reading all about what is the wisdom that your heart wants to share with you at this time. It's particularly aimed at those who might be going through a breakup situation at the moment, or you have done in the past, or even if it was quite a while back, but there's still some pain that you're carrying with you, or even you might be, for example, in a new connection and you're noticing that some of the wounds of the past are starting to be triggered. You're getting old trauma coming up, or flashbacks, or anything like that. So I'm so sorry if for those of you who are going through any kind of heartbreak at the moment. My heart is with you. I really, really know how that is. And how painful that can be, but we're really going to look at today in this little tarot therapy session, if you like. We're going to look at what is the wisdom behind this experience, and what is the wisdom behind this pain? What can it teach us? How can we heal and grow? How can we navigate through that healing journey? How can we navigate through the cycles of healing? We're going to look at some remedies, some tips, or some goddess guidance from Goddess Isis around things that might help us to shift and not spiritually bypass the situation, because there's no way usually with something that is that really does affect your heart. It's kind of the only way out is through. You can't it's not to kind of say let's just get the pearl of wisdom, let's just jump over all the feeling of everything, over the emotional side of it, and over the energy of it, or the really fully experiencing how it might have affected you. But it's also balancing between not perhaps not to say you're dwelling in it, but sometimes it can be quite easy to, especially for those of you where this isn't a recent heartbreak, where there might have been some old wounds that might be coming up and you're wanting to understand them, so you're looking to a kind of a therapy in a sense to kind of make sense of your feelings and make sense of these emotions, and why are they coming up now, and why is it still coming up for me, and is it ever going to heal, and things like that. And it's finding that balancing point between understanding the wisdom and our emotions and what they're here to teach us, and what that heartbreak or that experience was there for. It's all these types of things. As hard as it is in the moment, I truly feel for you. When these things happen to you, it can be very easy to feel like, why is this happening to me, as opposed to how is this happening for me? And it's usually only far along in retrospect when you look back and you go, okay, I see why that needed to happen now. Maybe it wasn't in alignment, or we did need to go through that separation so I could find more strength within myself, or something like that. And it's usually not when it's happening, when the rug gets pulled out from under our feet, especially if it's a bit of a rude awakening, when something gets pulled away from us, if there's some kind of sharp separation or something we were not expecting. That can be extremely painful. It can disrupt your sense of trust, in other people. All sorts of things can happen as a result. So I really feel for you if you are going through any kind of heartbreak at the moment, but we're definitely going to be looking at some healing messages in this reading for you. Any guidance, any insight from your heart, from your emotions. We're really looking at sort of tuning into your emotional field and seeing, not to sort of spiritually bypass, but just to glean any wisdom behind these emotions and the situation. So the presiding goddess that we've got for the reading is Goddess Isis, the great mother goddess of Egypt. I'm going to leave a link below. I did a blog post about Goddess Isis a few months back, so if you want to read up a bit more about her after the reading, you can check that out on my website. But her overarching message is, your heart will be healed, and have faith. She's a wonderful goddess to call on in times of emotional distress. Especially for women. She lost her husband, as for those of you who know the myth. Her husband Osiris was killed by a jealous brother, and she basically ran out and basically he'd been dismembered, so she picked up all the pieces of him, and she was able to, because she's the goddess, because she's a goddess, because she's the goddess of magic and healing, she was able to like put all those pieces back together and bring him back to life and sort of resurrect him from the dead. So she's a wonderful goddess to call on if you, especially for those of you who have been married, for example, and you're going through a divorce or separation, or you've just lost your beloved, or you're going through a heartbreak or breakup, or someone that you thought might have been someone you would settle down with. It doesn't have to be, you know, someone you were legally married to, but just, you know, someone you were maybe cohabiting with or something like that in a long-term committed relationship. Or just, you know, any kind of grief situation, you know. So heartbreak doesn't have to be just romantic heartbreak. Some of you, you know, I feel guided to say, you know, for some of you this situation could be just, you know, losing a family member or something like that, or even losing a very close intimate friendship or something, you know. Or I'm hearing even like for those of you who've been trying to say manifest a specific person and it's just not worked out, and you know, whatever it might be, you've had to part ways. You know, it could be sort of anywhere on the spectrum. So just you know, trust your intuition. If you're drawn to this reading and you're drawn to one of the piles, there's possibly a message related to whatever it is you're going through. You know, Goddess Isis is with you. You can certainly call on her, and the message is, you know, your heart will be healed from whatever this thing is that you're going through, whatever this distress is, and have faith, because you will get through this. You know, we're gonna have a wee look at some healing messages for each of the situations, and anything that you might be able to take away to help yourself, you know, navigate this. So without further ado, to introduce the piles. So pile number 1, we've got the ruby crystal, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous pink red ruby crystal there, and the camellia card. So if you're drawn to that image or the ruby crystal, you'll be pile number 1. Pile number 2, we've got the lovely Labradorite crystal here. Hopefully you can see the sort of shimmery colours there. Yeah, there we go. So pretty. And the slippery elm card. So if you're drawn to either the crystal or the image of the card, you'll be pile number 2. And pile number 3, we have tiger's eye. And the image is the garlic there. So if you're drawn to one of these 3, just take a little moment, pause the video if you need to, take a moment to connect with your intuition, really ground your energy, and just trust your try that again. Trust your intuition. Trust that it'll guide you to the right reading. It might be that if for some reason you're drawn to more than one reading, there might be messages across both, and you just need to glean which ones from each specific reading are for you. Otherwise, I will see you in your reading. Okay. Hi there, pile number 1. If you chose the ruby crystal and the camellia card, this will be your reading. Okay, so I'm just going to put that over here for now. So I've already got your oracle cards here, and then we've got some tarot as well. Okay, so the first card is Blossoming Abundance. This is the energy you're starting to step into. We've got Magical Dreaming from the Aboriginal Chakra Goddess card deck. We've got from the Archetype deck, the Cave. We've got Spiritual Ascension. Oops, I'm going to move your cards over a bit. Okay, the Cave, Spiritual Ascension, and the energy that you're moving towards is the Thinking Woman, card number 47 from the Energy Oracle deck. I'm just going to leave that there. Okay. And then the tarot cards that we've got for you is, the first card is the Three of Swords in the upright. The next card is the Nine of Pentacles, which came out in reverse for you. Then we got Temperance. So you got a double Temperance actually, because your original card is the Temperance card. The Camellia card is the Temperance card from the Hercrafters Tarot deck. Okay. We got Mother of Pentacles next. We got the Four of Wands. And we got the Ace of Cups. And this is what you're moving out of, and this is the energy you're moving towards. So really, really beautiful energy there, pile one. Really beautiful prospects coming through for you. Okay, so let's have a look at the messages that have come through. So pile number one. At the moment, it looks like you are going right in the thick of a bit of a heartbreak situation. Now, this will be at different stages for all of you. Some of you might have just like imminently be in the process of breaking up, very recently broken up with someone. For others of you, this might be a little bit, it could almost be some time ago that this has happened, but you're still perhaps waiting for this person to come back, or you haven't fully healed from it. It's still kind of a pain that you're carrying around with you. There's still a it's like you're still bound to this person with all these red ribbons, red cords, almost like red rubber bands that are tied around these three swords, and then there's this blood coming out. It's like you've really gone through it. You're really still quite energetically tied to this person or the situation, whatever it was, if it was a romantic partner or if this was a heartbreak in terms of grief, like losing someone. There's still just a lot of, you still feel very energetically tied to them. It could be that something like some energetic cord cutting could be useful for you. For those of you where this might have been not a healthy connection, maybe this person really broke your heart in some way. They might have cheated on you or abandoned you in some sense, or sort of very abruptly broken up with you. Kind of the energy I'm getting from this Three of Swords is a very like sharp, stabbing, acute pain. Like this thing happened quite quickly. The heartbreak happened quite quickly and maybe took you by surprise. And it still feels quite fresh, even though for some of you, I'm getting that for some of you this is fresh and it has happened very recently, but for others of you this might be a little bit of time ago, but you haven't fully moved on, or you're not really entertaining the idea of anyone else, or whatever it might be. So this is kind of still a pain you're carrying with you, and it's still you're very tied to this person, I feel like. With the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, this is Nine of Pentacles outright speaks of independence and like self-preservation, self-protection, self-security, stability, having your feet sort of planted on the ground. Pentacle speaks of earth energy. It's very grounded energy. But when it's in reverse, it can speak of the opposites of those things, essentially. So it can be losing independence. I'm hearing losing oneself. So maybe in this situation, this Three of Swords situation with this person, especially if it was a romantic connection, you somewhat lost yourself, you lost your independence. So the energy I'm kind of getting is that this breakup sort of needed to happen so that you could move towards balancing that out, because we've got Temperance right after the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, which is balance, which is all to do with like we've got both fire and water here. So fire and water, the elements of both fire and water. So it's like having a passion for yourself as well as having a passion for, your person, or, being in a relationship or whatever. And coming up here to the Oracle cards, we've got the energy that you're moving towards, or the reason why this happened was with blossoming abundance and Nine of Pentacles in reverse. It's like you need to move into your own abundance. You need to move into this, Mother of Pentacles as well, straight after Temperance, which is really being very grounded in your very nurturing, very self-nurturing, very grounded in who you are. It's sort of like needing to reverse this legacy of the Nine of Pentacles being in reverse to turning it the other way around, finding yourself again, balancing out your energy so that you're not sort of overgiving. Yeah, finding like an abundance of things within yourself, an abundance of your own energy, an abundance I feel like you are going to have an abundance of growth as a result of this situation. um yeah, it's going to really lead to a lot, like just this really beautiful, like you're it's kind of like you're going to blossom as a result of going through this. I know it doesn't feel like this now because you're in this like Three of Swords energy, which can feel very gripping and very painful, and like it's just going to be feel like that forever. But you know, your emotions are, once you've worked your way through them and navigated them, and Temperance can speak of, like, with this hair in here, it looks almost like he's either sweating or crying. There's like tears that are coming out, and it's the tears, can you see they're going into a flame? So it's almost like fanning the flame, like the release of this grief and this situation. And you've got these drops of blood coming off these swords, and then these drops of water. So it's like the blood will turn to water, which in turn, when you purge it out and release it, will like fan the flame. It's almost like you know, when you're in a sauna, this is the image I'm getting from spirit. It's quite unusual, but you pour a little bit of water on like the sauna hot plate kind of thing, and it sizzles and it goes and it keeps the warmth going. It's almost like um this situation, releasing it and purging it and letting go of any trauma or any heartbreak or any attachment or whatever it might be, letting go of that bond. Just, you know, it might be that you need to cry it out, sweat it out, however you want to purge it out. Especially if the bond did turn a little bit toxic, which it might have for some of you. That's just for some of you. So, you know, for some of you, you might be like, no, it was wonderful, it was the best relationship ever, and I've lost it. um, you know, but there's a reason why, and it's something to do with your independence, I'm feeling like. And there's this need to balance your energies, come back into yourself, release this pain through, like I said, tears or sweat or something. And that water is like gonna like act like a water on a sauna, where it's like it's gonna fan your own flame and keep you warm eventually. Like you're going to, Goddess Isis is a goddess of alchemy, personal alchemy, and she's very much someone you can call on to transmute that pain. So this heartache you can turn to, um, you can absolutely transmute it and turn it into your own healing, and turn it into being able to fan your own flame essentially, and find your own inner light again. Because with magical dreaming, the cave, and spiritual ascension, I feel like for many of you in part one, you are quite spiritual, I feel like, already. If you're not, then chances are this whole situation will potentially, if you don't resist it too much, it will really guide you. You'll ascend in a sense as a result of this. You'll be more connected with your own inner self, your own inner spirit, your own inner light, with that flame there. Magical dreaming, this card can speak of, it's connected with the third eye chakra, which is to do with your intuition. And you can see we've got this woman here with this like a plant that's growing, and it's growing up, but then it changes direction. And magical dreaming can talk about this sort of sense of like being shown a path, or being shown a change in direction, in terms of like what your actual dreams are for yourself, and how the importance of them not being static and going down the same path for a really long time. It's like you're not going to evolve, you're not going to ascend, you're not going to grow, you're not going to be able to kind of alchemize any pain into like a becoming a stronger person by staying in the same direction. So there's this need to kind of connect with your dream self, and that you might get some messages through from your dreams, like in your actual dream state, around what this new direction is. But I feel like with the cave archetype here, it's like you're going to go very much you can see there's these two eyes that are sort of inside this cave, and it's like there's this need to, I'm hearing like the hermit card in tarot, for those of you that know tarot. There's this need to like really hermit, go within, go into the depths of the cave, into the unknown. And the cave is very healing. It's a very like it's like a sort of a liminal space, like a dark space where you can go and just purge. Temperance, we've got the temperance right below the cave card. So it's like a need to kind of go within, to like heal, to purge. I'm just being guided to the book. There's another message in there that, one moment, I can share with you. Cave, where is it? Da, da, da. Oh, sorry, have I not bookmarked this one? 6699. Here we go. The dark, the portal, the interior. Yeah, it's a place of potent power, acting both as a portal to another realm and a space for sacred ritual and initiation. The cave is a place to return for meaningful retreat. Yeah, so what I was saying, retreat, go within to heal, where one can see the true self. Remember, we spoke of you potentially losing yourself with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. For some of you, you might have self-sacrificed a little bit in this connection. Or just lost yourself, or lost a part of yourself, an aspect of yourself. So there's a need to kind of go back within and reconnect with yourself. So where one can see the true self in the darkness. In esoteric teachings, the cave is known to reside in the center of the heart. Within its walls, the whispers of compassion and self-understanding can be heard. Yet because of its mystery and power, many of us fear the cave and never try to find it. We busy ourselves in the bright lights of the city, while the cavernous and dimly lit chamber calls out to us in the night. Where is your cave? You already know. Return to it and tend the fire. Yeah, what was I saying about the fire, this flame on this temperance card? It's so appropriate that this card came out underneath this. It's like finding your inner light again, finding your inner truth, tending your fire through releasing, purging, letting go of anything that isn't serving you, that isn't truly you, letting go of this heartbreak or this grief around this person or this situation, and like letting that like relight your fire, like tend your own inner fire, because there's this sense of like, almost like if you are holding on to this person or to this situation, it's like you're looking to them to be your inner light, and there's a need for you to come back within and find that within. You've got to retreat within and reignite your own inner light, just like that. And it's something that you there's a need to sort of learn to do this consistently, not just once or twice in order to like get this person back, or something like that, or like manifest someone, or whatever it might be, or to like get them to notice you or to reach out. It's like, no, you can't do this for someone else. You've got to do this for you forever. It's a consistent process. So if you can retreat into the cave, this situation is so super powerful and potent by this cave archetype coming out as an archetype, that a very strong life archetype that you're working through within. It's like I'm getting sort of major arcana energies in a way, major arcana cards in tarot, which temperance is a major arcana card. This is like a life pivotal moment. So if you can figure out how to do this, how to alchemize this, this will be something that you can return to time and time again. It's like there's a need to kind of mother yourself with this Mother of Pentacles here. Find your own inner stability, rather than like with that Nine of Pentacles being in reverse, there was a dependence, possibly like, I really don't want to use the word codependence, because I don't personally agree with how it's used often in the spiritual community, or it's a complex term, so I'm not going to go there. Anyway, I'm just going to say, perhaps if you were more on the anxiously attached end of the attachment range, in a way that, and that's fine to be like that, if you can acknowledge that that's something, we all have that. I've gone through, sometimes still go through moments of that. It's not to say, oh my god, you're anxiously attached, like, like, get over it, like, stop doing that. And we all have those sort of emotional dependencies for a reason, but it's like going into the cave to figure out where that's come from and how you can shift it and heal it and find that dependency on yourself and find that inner light again, and sort of almost like come back into your own stability, and so that you're not depending. And for some of you this could be in different ways. It's almost like with Pentacles, that's an earth energy. So your person could have been an earth sign, or just someone who embodied that really like stable energy. And in some ways you were kind of leaning on them, possibly for some sort of security or stability or whatever it might be. It might not have been that you were so much like addicted or emotionally attached, over attached or anything like that. It might be more that there was just a sort of a dependence on their energy, or just a dependence on them always being there, or something. I'm hearing like bailing you out maybe. So maybe with money, Pentacles can speak of finances, or stability, security, things like that, material things like a house, or support, financial support. Maybe this was a business partnership. Maybe there's a heartbreak because you've had to split from, there's a separation from someone you were in business with or something like that, and they were kind of bailing you out or something, and there's this need to like go within and like look at what this is, how to find your own stability and strength and security and groundedness within yourself and your own flame, like relight your own fire. With the magical dreaming card as well, there's another message from the book, which I'm just being guided back to. Where are we? Magical dreaming. Here we go. Yeah, so having the courage to travel tracks less traveled is what our dreaming is really about. Allowing your soul to have different experiences is the way in which we grow. And I spoke about growth, this needing to be for growth, in which we grow emotionally and spiritually. Without new experiences, our souls will continue on the same dreaming over and over again. So yeah, like the changes in our ancient dreaming, we need to learn to adapt to what is happening, and if needed, change the direction of the path in which we are traveling. It is time to look closely at changing your dreaming and journey in an alternative direction. You have been walking this well-worn track for too long, and nothing has changed, but nothing has improved either. Change the direction of your dreaming and experience life on a different track. You will be amazed at the emotional and spiritual growth you'll experience on your new journey into the future. And the funny thing is the spiritual ascension card says I almost thought about not including that, because they basically say almost exactly the same thing. It's kind of uncanny. Where are we? Spiritual ascension. Spiritual ascension is about experiences, not lessons. Lessons often mean that you've done something wrong and have to learn from them. Yet experiences are simply that, experiences. Experiences provide a pathway to get to know yourself better. Yeah, what we're speaking about, going into the cave for retreating so that you can re-find yourself and relight your fire, retend to your fire. So this experience happened to kind of force you in a way to do that. So they provide a pathway to get to know yourself better and understand the bigger picture, which doesn't always have to focus on us as individuals. There is no magic formula for finding the path that best suits your spiritual growth, and for each of us it is an individual journey that becomes our story. We create our own dreaming. Where are we? Sorry, just turning the page. By walking our own tracks and learning from our own experiences. Sometimes we can walk together with others down the exact same track and experience the exact same thing. However, what we learn from our journey can be entirely different and unique from each of us. Whilst you're having the same experience as others at the moment, don't worry that you are seeing things differently to them. Your evaluation of the situation is correct for you based on your understanding and experiences of your life's journey. You need to create the environment to help others understand there is no definitive answer to this situation, and that you can all support each other to respect everyone's unique point of view. So that leads quite nicely into this Thinking Woman card, because the Thinking Woman card is all about someone who is very wise and very intelligent, but they've kind of worked their way there. They're sharing their wisdom. They are able to make sense of their experiences and understand them, put them in context, and communicate and share that with others. And I feel like whatever the situation is, and it'll be different for all of you, whether it was a breakup, whether it was a situation you're grieving, whether it was like a breakdown of a marriage or partnership or business partnership, or whatever it was that's kind of ended here with that Three of Swords and caused this heartbreak, you're going to eventually see, you're going to eventually alchemize it all, heal from it, find your stability, create a Four of Wands, create a new foundation, so that you can communicate the wisdom that you glean from this whole situation. And you'll ascend out of this dark phase. Can you see the difference between like this card and the energy that you're moving towards? Ace of Cups, absolutely beautiful. Brand new ace, brand new beginning. Cups, emotions, emotional fulfillment, love, for those of you that are wanting to manifest a romantic relationship. You've got both Four of Wands, which can speak of it can speak of marriage, but I don't want, for those of you that are in that state of being a bit attached to this Three of Swords personal or connection, I don't want you to be like, oh, I just like, yay, that's like attached to sort of that concept of like, oh, marriage is going to come in, because it's really, really important to kind of go through all of this healing journey. And this Four of Wands, I feel like, is less to do with, for some of you it might play out that you heal and find your inner stability and ascend from the situation, relight your fire, and either this person comes back or someone else comes in and you create a new foundation with them. But more importantly, the most important thing is that this Four of Wands is like a result of lighting your own inner fire. Wands is related to fire. It's linked with the fire element, and it's all to do with like your passions, your like, it's like igniting something to, like, you know, it's like wands are linked with the element of nature. So it's like kind of germinating a seed, planting it in the ground and seeing it grow. So it's like with the sun coming, like wands is like the sun shining down on a plant, and so therefore it grows. So it's like you're laying a new foundation for your life that's leading to this new beginning and something that's emotionally fulfilling. And the Ace of Cups came out right underneath the thinking woman, which is to do with like sharing your wisdom, you know, encouraging others, using your experiences to help others, using, you know, like she's got very, and it's interesting, she's wearing all green, which is all linked with the heart chakra. So I feel like there's some kind of like healing you go through with Temperance that like heals your heart and this heartbreak that you are then able to use to create abundance for yourself, for a start, with that Blossoming Abundance card, and this emotionally fulfilling new beginning for yourself. And that may be, for some of you, that may be, because we got two extra cards, which I'm only pulling out of the end now, that as a bonus, now that you've sat through all of this. You also got Ten of Pentacles and the Lovers card. So yeah, and this is like two Canadian geese kind of flying, and you've got like all the chakra colors of the rainbow here, which is really gorgeous. And Ten of Pentacles is to do with, like, again, it's pentacles, so it's stability, finances, security, long-term commitment, long-term security and stability within. So there's really this energy of, like, you know, mothering yourself, coming into this like self-nurturing state, creating a new foundation, having this new emotionally fulfilling beginning, which for some of you, I'm hearing like for some of you, this will be more like an inner union, like you're finding your own emotional fulfillment, your own financial stability, because there was one strand of, for some of you, I picked up on earlier when I was saying about Nine of Pentacles in reverse, and I heard something about like leaning on someone else, like possibly for financial support, you know, which there's nothing wrong with that, but it's kind of like saying like you're gonna, part of this healing is to move out of any kind of dependency or self-sacrifice or sort of mining. It's almost like using, with the feathers here around these pentacles, it's like using, it's not, I don't want to say using, it's not quite the right word. It's not like you were using them for protection, but it's like you were leaning on them for protection. And it's like you needed to find that independence. You needed to turn the Nine of Pentacles around the other way and find that independence, which you do, because you get Ten of Pentacles here, which is like ultimate, like security, stability, support, everything. Like whatever it is that you're trying to go towards. You know, if it's an if it's an emotionally fulfilling relationship in terms of an intimate relationship, you're going to get that. You're going to have this like lovers situation. It's going to be very fulfilling. It's going to be very secure, long term, committed. If this is more to do with like an inner union, you're going to be very like independent. You've created a strong foundation for yourself, a strong spiritual foundation for yourself. You've like fanned your own, it reignited, as we spoke about with the cave, going back within to like, you know, find that power within, to relight your fire, retend to your flame, your own inner flame. And it's like that's going to keep you warm for life. Like that's like a skill that once you've got it, it's like you've always got your own inner sauna. Just really cute little like image I'm getting of you just sitting like almost like within your heart, and like just, you know, like, you know, when you top up a sauna and you just put little bits, they often give you, if you're in a spa or something, they'll give you a little pot and you can just keep throwing the pot on the coals, and it just, you know, it keeps it warm, it keeps it going. And you'll know how to do that. You'll learn that art of alchemy, of alchemizing like painful relations, painful emotions, letting them like fan your own flame, coming back within, ascending, learning how to, you know, maybe with that situation of leaning on someone, and we had the strong message with magical dreaming of like not staying in things too long because you're not really growing from it, and learning when is the right time to kind of like you know, move on so that you can, you know, ascend and get the most growth from a situation. And then, and only then, and that's when right at the end we can pull out the Ten of Pentacles and the Lovers, you know, for as the result of doing all that work first. You know, you can have that whole situation. But I feel like for some of you that will look like an emotional a relationship, and for others of you that will be more of a like finding that sort of inner connection, that inner lovers connection. Yeah, I feel like that's all the messages I have for you today, pile one. All the best with your healing journey. Yeah, I meant to say as well with the camellia, there was a message in this card, the Hercrafters deck, about finding the importance of like finding stillness within by doing little rituals for yourself, like a tea ceremony. So maybe getting yourself, I'm not actually sure, I've never had camellia tea. It sounds a little bit like chamomile though, so chamomile might be really good for you, like quite calming, but I think it's a separate plant. But something like that, some kind of tea ritual that's very calming, very soothing, connecting with water could be really useful. Yeah, as you navigate through this kind of heartbreak, and sort of like giving yourself, like as you retreat, it's almost like, you know, what little rituals and things can you do for yourself, like whilst you're retreating, to like help give yourself the like love and attention, you know, that you deserve. Because if you're out of this situation and you were kind of leaning on that person maybe to give you whatever, like everything that a relationship gives you, the important thing to do, especially if you want this or you want that person to come back or something, is to find it within, and then what you have within will be reflected on the outside. It's just law. It just is. That is how things are. That once you found that within, that love within, and that fanned that flame within and kept it alive, then you'll see that Four of Wands show up on the outside. You'll see that Lovers show up on the outside when you're really loving yourself and like tending to yourself and like doing these little rituals and self-love and self-care things for yourself. I know it sounds really trite, but it's really, really important to do with that, like going back within, retreating, you know, and connecting with your own truth, your own inner soul, and that will help you get out of this situation. And you'll see, yeah, you'll eventually see the wisdom behind all of this and be able to help others potentially. So I'm not quite sure exactly what it is you've been through. I picked up on a few different scenarios, but obviously it'll be different for all of you. So maybe for some of you, if you're going through a divorce, for example, you'll be able to help other people who are doing that in some way. I don't know, maybe you write a book about it, because she's holding a book here. So you write about your experience and navigating that, or or you end up doing some kind of or just even, it doesn't even have to be like you change careers or anything like that. It could just be that you're just able to help others in some way. Like you can share whatever that situation is that you've alchemized and ascended out of. Like you can share that wisdom with others and help them navigate their own emotions. So yeah, self-care, self-love, that is the ticket. And all the best for navigating this journey. All my love. Goddess Isis is here. Call on her. She's wonderful for helping you find that love within when you've lost your beloved. Also, the ruby crystal as well is another wonderful crystal for this situation, for exactly this heartbreak, for any kind of sharp heartbreak pain, breakups, things like that. Ruby is a wonderful crystal for, like, you can just hold it over your heart chakra. It's like a bright pink color, so it's just really, really healing for the heart chakra. It will help instill, hopefully you can feel that. Actually, I can feel it just from holding it, so I hope you can feel it through the camera. If you really consciously and intentionally connect in, you can receive the like healing energy from anything, even from a distance, which is how things like distance Reiki work. So if you ask to connect, I'll just hold this up for a moment, but the ruby energy, yummy. It's gorgeous. It's like very heart affirming. So get yourself one of these if you don't already have one. They're wonderful. Lots of self-love and self-care. Maybe find, if you have the means to do so, going on some kind of spiritual retreat, or even just like a spa retreat, or a a yoga retreat, or whatever it might be, could be really helpful. Or just create your own if you can't do that. I've gone through moments where I've gone through really terrible breakups and I haven't had the financial means to do that, and I've just had to kind of like do a DIY version and create my own at home retreat and do really nice baths and lots of bathing rituals and self-care rituals, and putting rose or essential oil in a bath. That's really good for self-love as well. Just kind of staying off social media, lots of self-care, buying yourself flowers, anything that you kind of leaned on the other person to do for you, or that you are sort of holding on to them to come back to do for you. Start doing as much as you can. I know it's really hard when you're in the middle of a heartbreak, but as much as you can, start doing those caring and loving rituals for yourself, and you will really start to see day by day it'll start to get a little bit easier. Is that all the messages, Spirit? I think it is. Okay, my loves, if you do need some support, I feel like for many of you, you're already quite connected and spiritual, so you've got this, and you're ascending even further, like on your spiritual journey. Like you've already gone through various awakenings, and you know how to do this. For those of you who haven't, and you're new to all of this, and you're struggling a bit, and you're still really in this Three of Swords energy, and you would like some emotional and energetic support to help shift out of this energy towards the healing and the creating that that energy of creating that stability within, I do holistic healing sessions, so check out my website. I'll leave the link below, and I do have, I think, a few sessions left towards the end of this month, a few slots available for booking. Also, this is obviously a general reading, so just take which messages resonate and leave the rest. If you would like a tarot therapy reading specific to your situation, then by all means, again, check out my website, and the link to book directly is below as well. So you can always book a personalized reading, and again, I can make the healing messages very specific to exactly your situation. Or if you want a love reading, to call in, to call in this lover situation, or to look at this dynamic with this person, or anything like that, I can do that as well. So have a wee look at my website, and otherwise, all the best, all my love, all my blessings and support. You stay strong, you will get through this, and I will see you in the next reading. All my love. Bye bye, Pal 1. Hi there, Pal 2. If you chose the Labradorite crystal and this slippery elm card, then this will be your reading. Okay, so I've already pre-pulled both your Oracle and Tarot cards. So we'll start off with the Oracle cards up here. So the first card you got is Self-Assurance, which is linked with the Sacral Chakra from the Aboriginal Chakra deck. You got the Unseen from the card from the Archetype deck. You got the Green Chakra Goddess from the Aboriginal Chakra deck. And we got, Woman Holding a Heart, card number 44 from the Energy Oracle deck. And I feel like I'm missing one of your cards. Let's see. No, maybe not. Okay. Let's put Slippery Elm. Slippery Elm here. Okay. And then the tarot cards we got were Five of Pentacles. Oops. As you can't see that terribly well. There we go. Seven of Cups. The Tower. 10 of Wands, which came out in reverse actually. 10 of Wands in reverse. 8 of Wands. And Ace of Swords. Hopefully you can see all those all right. Move that out of the way. Okay, there we go. Right, okay, so your message is pile number 2. So interestingly, you got Five of Pentacles twice, because you got Five of Earth, which is Five of Pentacles as your main card for the to select your pile, and then the very first card out of your tarot deck was also Five of Pentacles. So there's a real energy of, from whatever this heartbreak or emotionally challenging situation is that you're going through. My feeling is that that there's, with Five of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, and Self-Assurance, the energy I'm kind of getting is one of you seeing yourself incorrectly. It's like there's an illusion around, because Seven of Cups can speak of like fantasies, illusions, deception sometimes, just scattered thinking, I'm hearing like distorted thinking, distorted beliefs, that kind of thing. And I don't get that this is so much about it. You could see it as that with the Tower as well, following Seven of Cups, and given this is a reading potentially about, you might have just gone through some kind of heartbreak or something like that, or a situation that didn't work out. But my feeling is, if that did happen, it's almost like it's more because of how you view yourself, than which is leading to what's happening on the outside. So with Five of Pentacles here twice and Self-Assurance, it's like there's this energy of a kind of a seeing yourself as a lot less than what you really are, like low self-worth, low self-esteem, low self-value, especially value, because Five of Pentacles is to do with money, security, stability, can be to do with finances. Pentacles can literally be coin. And this in this deck, this woman is showing here holding out, like she's on crutches, and she's kind of holding out a begging cup. It's like there's an energy of kind of a sense of helplessness. I'm hearing like learned helplessness. So this could be something that like you witnessed in childhood, or it's a pattern that you learned from someone else in your family or something like that. But there's this energy of a distortion and thinking around yourself, and a scarcity thinking around, because Five of Pentacle cards is kind of like seeing, I think in the traditional Rider-Waite, it shows like a person standing outside a church, and they've got like, I think it's a female figure, and she's got children, and she's sort of wearing rags, and she really wants to get in the church or inside the warm light of, I believe it is a church in the Rider-Waite, but could be interpreted as just like a lovely building or home. And it's the energy of like keeping yourself like not feeling worthy of those things. And like if you just walked into the church, you would receive some help and support and be able to participate and partake in like the light and the food and the warmth, but you're staying feeling like, no, I've got to be out here in the cold. So it's like this helplessness sense, or low worth, or like, no, I don't deserve those things. So maybe if it was something where there was a tower moment for you recently, or even it could have been in the past, but for some of you it might be more recently. But I feel like with the Ten of Wands in reverse, it's like something you've not fully let go of. If it was something in the past, it's like you've not fully let go of this situation. And the reason why is because there's this lesson around, or not lesson, I don't really especially like that word always, because it sounds a bit mean, almost like, you know, you've got to be taught how to love yourself, or like but it's like these experiences happen to wake us up to our self-worth and self-assurance, because with the Seven of Cups and this sort of illusion sense, or distorted thinking being under self-assurance, and self-assurance being linked with the sacral chakra, which is all to do with like passion and vitality and sort of a sense of like creativity, fertility, our own kind of self, like being ignited to our own kind of like power and magnetism. And it's like that's, you don't see that in yourself. It's like you're disconnected from your sacral chakra. You don't see your own magnetism or your own worth or your own power or your own potency, because there's a lot around not seeing. We've got the unseen here. We've got this woman's got one of her eyes closed. We've got this Five of Pentacles. It looks like she doesn't even have eyes. It looks like she's completely blind. Really strange. And the Seven of Cups, one of her eyes is closed again. So this card's mirroring this card. So there's a lot around like not seeing. It's like you're not, this distorted perception and how you see yourself. And this situation happened, this tower situation happened to wake you up and open your eyes and help you to see yourself as a goddess, as like to let go of the burden of this, whatever that situation was that made you feel like this, whether this was a recent partnership or relationship, or whether this was a childhood thing, or whatever it was that made you feel less than worthy, or someone else's opinion of you. In fact, I'm just going to read directly from the self-assurance message in the book, because it's a really great message, and it talks directly to this, what I'm talking around. Self-assurance is a quality which we work really hard at to gain, and that can be taken from us with little effort, particularly when we willingly allow others to damage our sense of worth and self-esteem. Self-assurance is based on the belief that we value ourselves and are willing to allow others to have their opinions that might differ from ours, yet still stand strong in what we believe to be our truth. Self-assurance is something that you usually don't lack, but you have allowed someone to undermine your sense of trust, and this is extended to the trust that you once had yourself. This person does not deserve to have so much power. Initially, you were tricked. Self-deception, Seven of Cups, and the Tower. Letting go, or situations that are unaligned being pulled away from us, and also sudden endings, sudden loss, sudden things, illusions that we were clinging to just being pulled away. So potentially that might have been something that happened to you recently. So initially you were tricked into allowing this person to make decisions for you, and now you don't know how to stop it. Try harder. You can regain your power in this situation, and when you do, you will have to make a commitment to yourself to not allow this to occur again. This is just the first test. The others won't be so difficult if you conquer this one. And I know that book is saying it's a test, but I want you to see it as less of a test or a lesson, and more of a shift in like awakening you to your own power, like seeing it as like not like this tower thing is something that happened to you, but something that's happened for you to wake you up to what's unseen and your self-worth, which the unseen can also speak of what's beyond the veil, in terms of like, you know, the elemental world, the like the world of sort of the law of attraction or magic, the angelic realm, the, you know, the energy of you know, goddesses, or spirit guides or any of that. These are all things that, I'm sure if you're tuning into a tarot reading, you probably have maybe even just a glimmer of, or you might have been skeptical in the past, but now you're like, oh yeah, I kind of feel like there's other things out there that aren't just what we see. Or, for some of you that could be different, could be like, you might believe in other planets and life on other planets and aliens and UFOs and things like that. For some of you, it's like, yeah, I believe in like Archangel Michael, and for others of you, it's like, I believe in Goddess Isis, and whatever it might be. But there's something around like the unseen coming through for you in this tower moment, and also like waking you up to your self-assurance and self-worth and self-value again, like reopening it's almost like your spirit team, and how like your guides and all these loving beings that are around you, your ancestors and so forth, the way they see you, which is through just the eyes of pure unconditional love and just total like unequivocal like support. They see you as a goddess. It's like they, by this situation happening, this fall, this like illusion being revealed potentially around trust and not trusting yourself. So you might have been with the Seven of Cups as well. There might have been like some kind of, I'm so sorry if this is something you've been through, because I've been there and it is fucking horrible. Sorry to swear, but it's just the worst. Because I feel like with self-trust coming up, you might have been in a situation where you were being gaslit or something like that, manipulated in some sense, your trust in yourself being manipulated, your opinion of yourself being manipulated. Maybe you were undermined, because just all the messages around the self-assurance is like giving your trust over to someone else who's like allowed you to change your opinion of yourself. And it's like there's a need to like put up boundaries and not let that happen. And also, if this is the situation that happened a while ago, that you've now gotten a bit stuck in this Five of Pentacles energy of this sort of scarcity mindset around how you perceive yourself and your self-worth, because that can be the effect of a gaslighting partnership or childhood, can lead to that being and I'm hearing like endemic, is that the word? Endemic, I guess, like absorbed and become like almost like that becomes your new how you see yourself, instead of like you choosing it, like being like, that's their opinion, fine, they can have, like, I'm not in control of someone else's opinion of me. I control my opinion of me. I say who I am, what my value is, what my self-worth is. I see myself as a spiritual being, and I see myself through the eyes of spirit. This tower moment has happened, or is happening. If you're in it, I'm so sorry if you are. But it's happening to wake you up and open your eyes to your own worth, and to see yourself through the eyes of like your spirit team as the goddess you really are. And with this green chakra goddess, this is all to do with your heart chakra. So we've got the sacral chakra and the heart chakra, which are definitely two chakra areas that when you've gone through some kind of heartbreak, especially in an intimate romantic relationship, because sacral chakra is to do with like your sensuality and sexuality and personal magnetism, and it can be linked with self-worth and things like that. And the green chakra goddess obviously linked with your heart chakra, which is obviously where you're directly going to be impacted if you're going through a heartbreak. So these are the two chakras to really focus on healing. But the green chakra goddess in this particular deck is talking about, you can see this goddess standing by a tree, and it's talking about the importance of nature and not like giving away your energy. So again, this person might have been a bit of a or this situation, if it was an intimate relationship, or even if it was something that happened in childhood, it's like it's really like scattered your thinking about yourself and the world, and your sense of trust in both yourself and sense of trust in the world. Because this woman's got, you can see there's all these fragmented bits of glass, and on the glass is like a fragmented crown, which is to do with your self-sovereignty, a fragmented eye, which is to do with your third eye. So that's like crown chakra, your third eye, which is to do with your intuition, your sense of perception. There's a swan and a ring and various other things, a diamond. So yeah, but anyway, the point is that it's to do with like fragmentation and maybe from some kind of emotional manipulation or distortion or something. And it's like this situation happens so that you can, with 10 of Wands being in reverse, it's like so that you can let this go. It's really important to let that burden go of how you're viewing yourself in this incorrect way, and not being able to trust yourself and how you see yourself, and like come into this green chakra goddess energy of seeing your own worth, seeing yourself as a loving being, seeing yourself the way your guides see you, seeing yourself as a goddess, and connecting with like Mother Earth, because that will help ground that scattered energy and that distorted energy and any kind of I'm hearing like energy vampire type situation. So really intense. If you have been in that, that won't be for all of you. Don't worry if you don't resonate with that. If it's been more of a regular situation where maybe it was more like your self-assurance or sense of self-esteem or self-trust was a bit knocked, and there's just a little bit of healing around it. But for others of you, this might well be you were in some kind of narcissistic dynamic potentially, or something like that, where there was some kind of energy vampire type thing. Like maybe you identify with the empath narcissist dynamic. Don't worry if you don't and you don't know anything about it, forget it. But if you already know that that's what you were in, this is why that tower happened where it ended, or something happened abruptly to pull you away from it, so you could let go of that burden of seeing yourself through the eyes of an energy vampire, or someone who was just kind of using you or abusing your trust, and creating like a really distorted sense of your self-perception. So yeah, connecting with nature will be very, very healing for you. Grounding, connecting, like you can see she's touching the tree here. So like going to trees and just like even hugging trees if you're into that, going forest bathing, going for walks in nature. If you do live somewhere where it's warm enough to take your shoes off or touch the ground in some way, that will help you. It's something called earthing. You can look it up online. There's documentaries about it. They're amazing. They help heal all sorts of difficult conditions, everything from emotional things all the way through to back injuries, all sorts of stuff. The power of Mother Earth is super, super powerful, so don't underestimate the power of connecting with the earth to help release any of these like distorted energies, or to help like connect you back into you, release any kind of energy vampire energy, or any kind of like just maybe like your own mind, like thought spirals, or anxieties, or just getting stuck up in your head, anything like that. If you just touch the ground, like walk on the earth for about 15-20 minutes ideally if you can, or touch a tree for that long, you'll be amazed at like the energy that comes out of you and the energy that is restored to you. You feel so much more back in your own self. And that's the key healing messages from all of this, because we've then finished up with, this is the energy you're moving towards, is women holding a heart, which is just absolutely gorgeous. And this is like you coming back into yourself, and this is like you giving you the love that might have been taken away from you. It's like you're holding this heart back towards yourself. It's like, look at this great big heart of mine, like I'm such a loving being. And you've got with 10 of Wands in reverse, like letting go, by which came out under the green chakra goddess. So it's like letting go of this burden of this tower moment, and the 7 of Cups, any kind of energy that was taken from you, or like someone undermining you or whatever it might be, letting go of that through being in nature, connecting really strongly with nature, and that will help you, 8 of Wands, move out of it. Look at the difference in the energy between 10 of Wands and 8 of Wands. She's just so defeated here, and I really feel like that for you. But I feel like because it came out in reverse as well, it can be two things. It can either be something that you haven't let go of that you need to, which is that tower moment, I think, and that illusion being revealed, and this like whole waking up to your what's unseen, which is how you see yourself. But also this could be that you are in the process of, for those of you that have had your tower moment, you are in the process of letting go of that burden of that relationship, whatever that dynamic was. It'll be different for all of you. Some of you, it might have just been a bit on the end of just not being terribly aligned and terribly uplifting or supportive of you, and it's left you with a bit of a negative self-image. For others of you, it'll be right on the other end of this, right down the end of the scale of being full-blown, say, narcissistic abuse or emotionally abusive or something like that. So it's different for all of you. But you're going to get to a point where you're going to let that burden go. I'm just I'm just hearing that Frozen song. For those of you that know Frozen, and those of you who've possibly got kids have probably heard this a million times, but the let it go, let it go. So there's just this real need to like connect with nature, let it all go, and then you will spring forward. You can see with this deer here, she's just like, and the pheasant, it's like jumping out of this forest. There's like all this kind of bramble and like bits of twigs and stuff kind of that were, it's almost like things that were holding her back. A sudden she's just like whoomph, like just springing forward out of it. So you're going to eventually get to that energy. And then you've got Ace of Swords to finish, which is a beautiful, like, you look at the difference in power from Five of Pentacles, this woman, to you having this new beginning. Ace, new beginning, swords in like a decision, in a new potentially new career, even like your sense of worth, what you decide you're going to do for yourself. Also, this eagle is wearing a crown, and we spoke of with, I think, the Seven of Cups, there was a, you might not be able to see it on the camera, but no, anyway, no, it's not picking it up, sorry, but one, you just have to trust me. See, that's one of the things to work on, self-trust. Trust yourself that there is a tiny little broken crown here. So it's like this situation had to happen to kind of break you down, to build you back up, to so that you could see yourself the way your spirit team sees you, and see yourself as powerful, and see yourself as strong, and see yourself as sovereign, and find your like inner queenhood again. And and also this card, I feel like, is talking about, I think that it comes back to that message that the self-assurance card from the Aboriginal Chakra Goddess book said about really putting up boundaries to not let that person or that situation completely permeate your thinking and give away your trust like that again to anyone else. Because it's like, you don't want to go through this, you don't want this to become a pattern and go through this again. It's like you want to have learned the, as much as I don't like to say it, the lesson, you know, or transmuted the experience and transcended out of it, which I feel like you will. For most of you, Eight of Wands, like this is transcending the experience, you know, and finding a woman holding a heart is like, you know, finding your finding yourself again, finding your self-love again, seeing yourself as the goddess you are. Like, she's just very very feminine, very in her feminine essence, and very like just self-loving, like look, like, you know, giving herself that love, like that heart is something she's pulling towards her, kind of thing. So with this Ace of Swords, I feel like that sword is like going to be like your boundary, and it's going to be like, this is my self-truth, this is who I am, this is my worth, this is my value, this is what I believe. You can say what you want, but that's your opinion. Like, this is me, these are my boundaries, this is what I want, boom. And you're just going to have so much more strength and power compared with this Five of Pentacles person, which is like on crutches and holding out a little tiny wee cup, being like, can I have some coins, please? Like, I'm getting that real energy of like, I'm seeing the film, some of you might know this, some of you, this might be way too old a reference, but Oliver, the film Oliver, which I think came out in I wasn't around when it came out, but my mum saw it and I saw it when I was a kid, but it was on TV, but I think it came out in like the 60s or something, the original film Oliver, and the boy goes up, he's in an orphanage, and for those of you who know the Charles Dickens story, and he goes up to the headmaster and is like, please sir, may I have some more? And it's like that energy that this Five of Pentacles is in, and it's like you're kind of like looking to this, either this person or the situation, or someone else to value you and decide your self-worth. And it's like, this has all happened to wake you up to your own, you deciding what you're worth. Ace of Swords, you've got a new beginning coming for you. You decide what you're worth. You put the crown on your head. Find that like inner queen. I'm hearing like inner Queen Bey, inner Queen Beyonce. So like Beyonce songs could be really powerful and helpful, you know, whatever it is that you need to do to find that self-assurance, you know. Oh, and the Labradorite stone as well. This is really helpful for connecting with your sense of like intuition and magic and like sort of spiritual team, if you like. So it helps you connect with the unseen. It helps you connect with also, it's almost like a stone because it has that shimmery, ephemeral kind of thing. It's like a stone of transformation. So it can be really helpful to like transmute all of this kind of stuff and help you break out of it and transform it. So yeah, I feel like that. Is that all the messages, Spirit? They want me to say rose quartz as well. So yeah, for women holding a heart, rose quartz. I've got a lovely big one here. This is really gorgeous for heart healing. Helping you find self-love, helping you return to, it was a crystal that I used. The reason I speak of all that narcissistic stuff, and for some of you who have been on my channel before, I've brought this up, and some of you have resonated with this and asking about further readings about this topic. So I know that, you know, it's vibrational thing. You're gonna find the readers who have gone through some of the things that you've been through. So that's why I specifically brought it up. So when I went through my narcissistic abuse healing, because I went through all this stuff, gaslighting, etc., rose quartz was so helpful for me. I used to just sit in the park. So I did this green chakra goddess thing of like connecting with Mother Nature, connecting with trees, lying on the earthing a lot to like release that energy, and also lying with rose quartz on my heart chakra. And it was so restorative and helped me find self-love again when I was like lost and like just so lost in that situation. So I am sending you all my love and all the goddess blessings if you are in that and you're going through this tower moment with something like that. I hope for your sake you're not. For most of you, it's not that extreme, and it's just more of a case of like, you know, you've gone through something being pulled away from you, and you're feeling a sort of sense of scarcity and a sense of like maybe your self-assurance has been a bit knocked, your self-confidence has been a bit knocked as a result of something being pulled away. So I really hope it's only that and not something worse. But for those of you that have been through anything worse, if you need some extra support, I do support for I do holistic healing and also coaching sessions to help you reconnect with your own inner power. So I will leave my website below. It'll be in the description box below if you want to check that out. If you do feel you would benefit from some extra support and healing from this, because it is one heck of a journey. And I, you know, no harm, no foul in seeking support at all. I certainly did. I had my various counselors and spiritual teachers that I worked with that helped me transmute things, and now I do it. So, you know, do whatever you need to do to let go of this, because you don't want to go through your life being like, you know, you're not seeing your true worth and not seeing your true self, and not being connected and being this beggar woman. Like, you're not a beggar woman, you know. Don't be a beggar woman. Don't go to this person or to those situations begging for breadcrumbs of affection. Like, you deserve more than that, and you can have more than that. I have done that over years. After transmuting it, I finally found this woman holding a heart, and then it led to having that reflected on the outside with a beautiful, harmonious, non-narcissistic, respectful relationship. But I had to do the work first of like getting to the point of finding my self-trust and self sovereignty, self-truth, soul connection with spirit, seeing myself, you know, as deserving of unconditional love. And it's still a journey, you know, these things are cyclical, they're not linear. It's not like, you know, one day you just wake up and you're like, boom, you're cured. It's ever deepening, you know, but it's possible. And I definitely see that for you, pile 2. So don't feel discouraged if you are in this. It might feel like hell right now if you're in this tower situation. For many of you, I feel like you've possibly had the tower moment already and you're just in this like letting go stage of the 10 of Wands. But if you do need support, if you're still in this stage of being stuck in the distorted thinking and the energy, your energy being taken, feeling very drained, feeling very, like not trusting yourself, not trusting the universe, all of that kind of thing, then certainly, do have a look at my website and see if there is something there for you. Okay, my lovelies, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for letting me read for you. Thank you for being here, for your likes, for your subscribes. I really send you all my love, all my support to get through this. You've got this. You really do. And I will see you in the next reading. Bye-bye. Hi there, pile number 3. If you chose the garlic card here and the tiger's eye crystal, this will be your reading. Okay, so I've already pre-pulled your oracle, pre-shuffled and pulled your oracle cards and tarot. So to start with the oracle cards, the energy that you're in, we're going to start on this side, the energy you're in and what you're moving towards and what you're healing. And then confirmed with tarot cards underneath. So we've got the community card to begin with. So I feel like some of you, if you aren't already in a community or building up a community, it's important to, or even just a group of friends, if it's not like actual community, it's important to kind of connect with community at this time. We've got the goddess Rhiannon, which is linked with the sacral chakra. We got 2 archetype cards for you. We got the medallion card and also the offering. I'm just going to put that like that. There we go. So we can fit everything in. We got the release card, which is from the Aboriginal chakra goddess deck as well as the Rhiannon one. And this is linked with the heart chakra. And we got the journey card to finish with, which is the energy you're moving towards. I'm just going to move these out of the way. Journey, there we go. Offering, release, journey, and garlic. There we go. And then your tarot cards, we've got Queen of Wands, the energy you're coming into. 7 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. Lots of Pentacles energy, lots of Earth energy. Some of you might be Earth signs, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, but that might not resonate for all of you. I'm going to have to move these over so we can fit everything in. 7 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, all the Pentacles cards, and moving up in a progression as well, 7, 9, 10. 7 of Cups, so we've got 2 7s, 7 of Pentacles and 7 of Cups. Being overwhelmed with options. King of Wands, so we've got counterpart energy here, Queen of Wands and King of Wands, both wearing lovely red cloaks. King of Wands, 4 of Swords, and are you able to see that? There we go. 4 of Swords, and I'm going to hold the last card back and show you it at the end. So, alrighty, so pile number 3. When I pulled your reading, when I got your cards, compared with the other piles, and don't tell the other piles this, but to be honest, I feel like for you, pile 3, you might have been, it may be relevant to watch pile 2, because I feel like for many of you in pile 3, and you'll be in different stages on the spectrum of this journey, but I feel like for some of you, you've been through the pile 2 stuff and you've come out the other side, and now you're about to go into this next phase of your healing, which is all of this. Because when I pulled your cards, I was a bit like, excuse me, why are you in therapy? like, hello, bitch. Sorry. Hello, queen. Hello, queen of wands. Like, come on. Like, hello, girl. You are smashing it. You're doing so well. You've got this community you're building up. You've got Seven of Pentacles, you're working towards something. Nine of Pentacles, you've got independence. We do have the medallion, which is to do with like letting go of things, with Ten of Pentacles here. So some of you might have been, and also release, and Seven of Cups, which can speak of being a bit overwhelmed with options. So there might have been a situation, I did pick up on one situation of someone possibly having gone through a divorce or having to let go of a house. So that might be for some of you with that medallion. Medallion can speak of letting go of like material things, material objects, or something that's like weighing you down, or like, because it kind of speaks of how everything contains energy, and like everything you own, every physical possession or item, everything in your physical environment has a sort of energy, its own energetic aura, if you like, or its own energy or memories or sentiments. And so and it can sometimes speak of like, that's fine, but like maybe acknowledge that and look at like, is there anything old still around you that you need to let go of, or anything with energy that's not like, you know, like really aligned with you anymore. And it could be, and then we got Ten of Pentacles in with this house, and I kind of picked up on maybe a vibe of someone like letting go of a house or something, or letting go of things in your house, or going around your house and doing like it doesn't have to be like Marie Kondo hardcore cleans, but some kind of cleansing and purging, or letting go of things that aren't really serving you, so that you can fully step into this new era. And I don't mean to say, please know, for those of you, when I was saying like, hey queen, hey bitch, like what are you doing here in therapy, I don't, absolutely, please understand, I'm definitely not minimizing your pain if you have been through something. I'm not saying like you shouldn't be getting therapy, or you have no right to be in therapy, or if you have no right to you know, reflect on your emotions or reflect on past pain or anything. That's not at all what I was saying. What I was surprised about was that there were so many positive cards, and so many of your cards are in the upright, and they're all really beautiful, amazing, blossoming things. And I was kind of asking Spirit, like when I pulled all the cards, I was like, so what? What is, like, everything looks really good. Like, why is this person here? And then we got the release card. And with this card, this can speak of how someone who is perfected in the art of catch and release, in terms of like also someone who is so used to, in fact, do you know what? I'm not going to blab about it. I'm just going to actually read the message straight from the card, because from the book, I mean, because it's really good, and it makes sense, and it explains why there's still a little bit of stuff to look at. Where are we? Release can challenge you to your very core, and can sometimes mean handing over your control to either another human being or to the universe. Trusting another source to provide you with your needs and wants requires courage and strength. On the other side of release is the ability to continually let go of things simply through fear of what may happen if you stick it out. Fear of success, fear of failure, fear of the unknown. At times it is easier to let go than to see where the situation will lead you, particularly if you're experienced at managing the effects of loss. So I do feel like that's why I said, for some of you, you've been through the pile 2 stuff before. If you want to check that pile out, you don't have to, but it's kind of, you've worked through a lot of the stuff already, the initial stages perhaps of past heartbreak and things like that, and getting out, extricating yourself from painful situations, or situations where you might have had any kind of low self-worth off the back of a relationship or something, any kind of situation around self-trust, whatever it might be. But anyway, to carry on reading the message from this, so you have perfected the art of catch and release. Time to stop throwing things back under the pretense that something better will come along. And that's very much the energy of the Seven of Cups. She's looking at lots of different options, being like, oh, do I want this love, or do I want that? Do I want this person? Do I want this person who's offering me like a castle, or do I want to go after my career, or like, I'm not really sure. Like, do I want this? Do I want that? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, maybe you're in that energy of wondering if maybe you've been offered something. Maybe there is this Ten of Pentacles situation coming through for you, or this King of Wands person, and you're like, oh, but is that definitely right? Maybe something better will come, because there might have been because I do feel like you've had some kind of, with the offering card here, you've had some kind of offer, and you're not sure, and you're self-sabotaging a little bit or self-questioning it a bit. And so it says, time to stop throwing things back under the pretense that something better will come along. It is all a farce. You keep giving up and throwing things away through fear. So yeah, I definitely picked up a kind of self-sabotage vibe. Fear that things will turn out wonderful and you won't know how to handle these positive changes in your life. Your experience in loss and grief and are lacking in the fun and love departments. Time to let go of the fear and allow yourself to feel the love and laughter that has been missing in your life for so long. Stop being so serious. The sky is not falling and life can be as wonderful as you wish it to be. Manifest your dreams and then live them. And that is very much the energy behind sort of Queen of Wands, King of Wands, journey. I do feel like for someone, travel might be on the cards because we've got King of Wands and he's pointing at a globe, and journey. So maybe someone's asked you to, like, maybe this King of Wands person has asked you to go away or travel with them or go on a trip or something, and you're like, oh, I don't really know. Like with that release card, you're like, oh, but maybe if I go with them, then maybe I should just throw away that opportunity because something better might come along, or like I'm a bit scared. And it's like you're not so much scared of it going wrong, you're actually more scared of it going right. So it's like the reason this therapy session has come up is because it's like you're more scared, like even though there's like all these good things, and it's like, oh, you should just be able to you should be great, you should be celebrating, you should be like, woohoo, like I've got my counterpart, or I've got this house, or like there's love coming in, or this all these opportunities, and like maybe this travel, and this is what I've always wanted. I've got this offering. This offering can very much speak of like, you know, someone giving you everything, or giving you their heart or something, like wearing their heart on their sleeve, or just giving you this beautiful emotional offer. And maybe you with Nine of Pentacles, that can speak of like independence, and you've got this woman sitting here reading a book. She's got her, she's like good, she's like, you know, independent, doing a thing. She's got a wee cat there, she's really comfortable, she's got a gorgeous garden. So some of you might be quite successful. You've worked hard for that. With Seven of Pentacles, you've worked towards it. You've you know, you created your community. You've found your, with Rianne in there as well, that can speak of like finding your, standing strong in your truth. You've had to do that, I feel like, in the past for whatever reason. In the book it talks about with Rhiannon sometimes maybe being misunderstood, or like having difficulties with needing to like stay really strong in your standing in your truth. But I feel like you've kind of overcome that, or if you haven't yet, you will. You're in the process of doing that and coming into this like really beautiful independent energy. And it's almost like you've gotten so used to being okay on your own that this scares you. This and this and this is scary. It's like more scary, even though it's kind of what you wanted. I feel like it's maybe because of past heartbreak, and this is why you're drawn to this reading, because it's to do with current or past heartbreak. You don't fully trust yourself, or like you're it's something to like, there's still a little subconscious piece of you that maybe doesn't think you deserve it. And so you're going to sabotage it by being like, oh, well, maybe this isn't the final destination. Maybe I'll just, you know, release this to the universe, and then there might be something else around the corner that might be better. And it's like saying, you've got the 10 of Pentacles. This is it. This is the 10 of Pentacles. It's the 10. It's the ultimate number. You can't get higher than 10 in tarot in terms of each suit. It goes 1 to 10, ace to 10. So like 10 is it. 10 of Pentacles is it. It's the ultimate. It's the ultimate everything. It's all of it. You know, heart on a platter kind of thing. Like, but if you've been hurt in the past, or you've lost something in the past, because there was this energy with the medallion of needing to let something go. So I feel like letting some kind of baggage go. So this could be, maybe for some of you, this could be like a divorce. Like you've got to finally sign those divorce papers. You've got to finally move out of your home you had with a previous partner. Some sort of energy. Maybe look around your home and just go around it and energetically tune in and be like, is there something here that's like keeping me a bit stuck, or like reminding me of a past partner or a past heartbreak or a past person, or um or almost, or it could even be like something around like your past self, where you weren't this Queen of Wands and this independent person. You were like a different person, and that's sort of keeping you held back in some sense and keeping you in this fear energy. Yeah, but I do feel like with you are gonna go. It's like you're on this journey already, and you already know where you're going. It's like all these the street lamp with the direction signs are pointing towards, and you're even holding out your lantern towards where you know where you're walking towards. But there's this like looking back, and I feel like that's to do with like you're going towards your future with this King of Wands person. You're going on this journey, and you're already kind of going there, but it's like you keep looking back to the past, or to like this old baggage or this old situation, and this self-sabotaging kind of thing starts creeping back in, where you're a bit like, it's almost like you're fearing how good this is. It's like, can I trust that? Like, is that normal? Do I deserve this? Like, maybe like all these other things happened in the past, and maybe, and it's like, don't look back. Like, stop looking back, let go of what happened, release it, heal, like fully heal from it. This Four of Swords is like, I feel like it's like putting something to bed. That's what this card is kind of saying. And it's like, you can see there's all these cobwebs. So this is like old stuff. I feel like for pile 3, of compared with the other two piles, they're kind of in the middle, in the thick of it. And I feel like for pile 3, it's like, you're Queen of Wands, baby. Like, you're not in the thick of, I don't feel like, if you are, if this is wrong, maybe check out one of the other piles, because that's not really your energy. The energy I'm seeing is that you're quite in your power, and you've moved on from that past situation. Maybe it was like a divorce or something, and it's been a long ongoing process, but you've found your power after it or something. But with these cobwebs, it's like there's like cobwebs on your heart. It's almost like the pain, this is old trauma or old baggage or something, and it needs to be released. You need to release as well. It needs to be let go of, so that you can move, so that you can go on this journey and move forward with this, if you want to, with this King of Wands person. I mean, you don't have to. Don't like use your intuition, and don't do what a tarot reader tells you to do. God, if anything, this whole journey is teaching you self-empowerment and self-trust, and like to trust your intuition. But I feel like your intuition is telling you to go towards this thing, this love, this, whatever. But you've gotten used to like things not working out for you in the past, or losing things, or being with untrustworthy people or something like that. Or maybe with Rhiannon there, it's something. Give me 1 second. I feel like they're nudging me to the Rhiannon message, because there's some clarity around what you're questioning, Rhiannon. It's to do with like being falsely accused. You've become the center of attention. It may not be in a positive light. This is a position you've really found yourself in before, and bears no comfort to you. Usually you are looked upon as someone who can be trusted for your judgment. However, at present you are surrounded by the doubt of others. Stand solid in your truth. You know within yourself your decisions have been honorable, despite what others may believe. There is another aspect to what is happening in your situation, and the bystanders are unaware of the full scope of this. Find within yourself the strength and courage to see this through to the end. It's a bit of a rocky road ahead, but you will quickly triumph and find yourself back in the favor of those who doubted you, and they will learn from you the lesson of standing strong in your beliefs. So standing strong in yourself, standing strong in your beliefs, being doubted by others for what you've done maybe in the past. So maybe this could be different for all of you. So, for example, maybe you have been with someone in the past, maybe it was someone you were married to or in a long-term commitment to or something, and they were not someone who was very good for you. And so now your community or your friends are like, you've met someone new, and they're like, are you sure you're ready? Or are you sure that this is what you want, or this is good for you? And you're like, yes, actually, like, no, this person is really good. I am going to go on this journey with them. They are good. I can trust them. Or for others of you, maybe, because I did pick up on someone maybe going through a divorce, so there might have been questioning, a lot of people doubting, like, why are you leaving that person, or why did you go through the divorce? Like, maybe your community or people around you doubted why you needed to like be in this Nine of Pentacles energy and find your independence or whatever. And so the Rhiannon card is there to be like, like, ultimately trust yourself, whichever way the scenario is going, whether you decide to, if this is a new connection that's come through, if this is some kind of like beautiful beginning with someone, this beautiful journey that you're going on. Because we did also have, and I promised to pull out your little bonus card, we've got Six of Cups. So I hope that helps confirm for some of you. And again, trust yourself, Rhiannon, trust yourself, trust the truth of a situation, trust your intuition. You've gone through enough to know, with that release card, I really feel like for many of you, you've been through the ringer before, like because it said like you're perfected in the art of like almost like things being difficult or things being sad or not working out for you or whatever. And it's just saying like Six of Cups, like this is like a soulmate person, so like let go. Four of Swords, you're protected as well. Four of Swords can speak of protection too. So, but I feel like it's like put that old situation to bed, whether it was an old marriage or something that didn't work out, or a situation with like community or friends or something, people that didn't trust you, some kind of old wound or something. Let go energetically of anything any baggage that's holding you down, whether physical or it could be emotional. Just maybe go around your house and do a cleanse, or maybe you need to let your house go or something like that in order to accept this offering and move forward and travel with this person. There's like a need to kind of let go of some other security that you've had, maybe leaving the family home behind, leaving your family town or something, going on a journey. But you've got Six of Cups here, which is like this beautiful, innocent, lovely connection that's so reciprocal and so sweet and so adoring and so caring and yummy. It's just yummy. Pile 3. It's so sweet. It's just so, so, so sweet. I love it. I love this journey for you, girl. Love this journey for you. And I apologize again at the beginning for being sassy, but like your guides kind of wanted to be honest, I had a similar reading for myself not that long ago, because I also, for those of you who've been watching my readings for a while, know that I got into a new soulmate relationship at the beginning of last year, I think, after I'd gone through, for those of you that have gone back and watched pile 2 as an indication of where you've come out of, I had gone through all of that hell in like several years ago. Totally not bear worth repeating at all now, only to say that like I get where you're coming from with this. Like I get it. If you like, I get how it can be English. Okay, I get how it can be more scary to be loved sometimes than to expect pain. With that release card, it's like, you're good at expecting sadness and sorrow and things to not work out, and to kind of boundary yourself and stay in like the protection of just being on your own. but it's like there's this beautiful connection for you. And I know that sometimes it's like more scary to like be vulnerable and, you know, receive this offering of love. You know, it's very interesting. There's this hand hold this sort of quite young hand like holding out something out here with the crescent moon, and then there's like the Six of Cups like holding this similar hand holding a bunch of flowers, and we've got the rose here for you. So like, you know, I do get that. I do get it. I do get why this is a therapeutic, like this is a process for you, like this is part of something to understand your emotions, is that, hold on a minute, there might be a bit of self-sabotage going on. But trust yourself, trust for those of you that do have a good community around you and good friends, like trust them. For those of you that resonated with the storyline about Rhiannon where it was like people have been doubting you and your judgment, maybe be careful then about your community. That could be why this all showed up, is like you've had an offering and it is really good and you are trusting it, but like you're getting weird vibes from friends or something, or like your community, or like maybe this connection with this King of Wands is like there could be an age gap or like a country gap, like location gap, like they live in another part of the world or something, and so your community, probably because they care about you, is just like, are you sure, like, do you really want to go all the way to Argentina or something? And it's like with Rhiannon here, it's like, trust yourself, trust your truth, stand strong in your truth. Don't let the doubts of others affect you, especially if it is like, you know, this is kind of like we talked about with the Ten of Pentacles, this is like the ultimate, and like you probably know that, but their doubts or the doubts of others are causing you to question yourself, and you're getting a bit stuck up in your head and a bit like, oh, like maybe I shouldn't go for this person, like maybe I should, because there's this hesitancy with that Release card. It's like, oh, I shouldn't go for that because, you know, what if it doesn't work out? And there might be something better. This might not be it. And I feel like your spirit team is kind of saying, this is it. Because you've got 10 of Pentacles and 6 of Cups, which is like, 6 of Cups is kind of soulmate energy card. So really beautiful. And we've got this counterpart energy. You're Queen of Wands. So like you're very much in your power. You're doing your passion, whatever it is. I feel like you're possibly building up a community in whatever that arena is, or if you haven't already, you're working towards that, because 7 of Pentacles is like you've sown some seeds and you're starting to see them bud. Like this woman's just checking the grapes, she's checking the ripeness, she's like, I'm not quite ready to pick, I'll just keep an eye on that. But but then look, you've got 9 of Pentacles, there's this progression. You sowed those seeds, you did the healing work, you found your independence, you found your self-truth, you know, you stood strong in that, you found yourself after whatever it might have been that you went through. You found it's like a sense of self-contentedness. And then that led to your 10 of Pentacles coming through. And then there's just now a bit of like, oh, is this love? Like, can I have, you can see here, she's got her hand up pointing towards the love bubble, but she's like, can I have this? Like, am I allowed that one? And it's like, yes, you are, Part 3. You're allowed to have your soulmate. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I feel like that's all the messages. Other than the Tiger's Eye could be really good for you. Tiger's Eye is to do with self-worth and self-esteem. So I do feel like for those of you that are like struggling with self-sabotaging and thinking that something might go wrong or that you don't deserve it in some way, because there's still a subconscious part of you that is attached to, you know, we spoke of the 4 of Swords being some healing around some old stuff. So if there's still some old cobwebs hanging around in your heart causing some low self-esteem or something, then Tiger's Eye, really good for self-worth, self-esteem, self-value, self everything. Self-love, self-power, self-empowerment, self-truth, Rhiannon, you know, standing strong in yourself. So yeah, tiger energy, Queen of Wands energy. That's what you're in. That's what you're coming into. It's like you just don't see yourself as the Queen of Wands, I don't feel like. Pile 3. Yeah. I think you still have, there's still some self-doubt because you're on this really powerful journey, but you're kind of looking back over your shoulder being like, but what if this old thing comes and the boogeyman comes and gets me again? And it's just old fear. It's just old stuff. So yeah, you can do that. And also, if you do feel like there's old traumas and stuff that come up, then fuchsia is a really good crystal to clear out old emotional baggage and stuff, because we did speak of that with the medallion and letting go of stuff. Energetically, there might be some things that you do need to let go of, whether it's physical possessions, maybe presents your exes gave you, the house you still have together with your ex-husband or wife or whatever. It could be different for everyone, or it could just be energetic. It could just be something in your heart that you're still worrying that the same thing is good. You're kind of projecting maybe a little bit, and it's not intentional. I'm not saying any of this. Please know that, like, when we're doing tarot therapy and we're bringing this stuff out, this is like, the good thing about having the tarot cards is it's a way for you to see, lay down in front of you what might be going on in your subconscious that you're not aware of. So it's not like, oh my god, you're just like catch and release, like you're just throwing away this person, like what are you doing, like you should just be so grateful. Like, I'm not saying that at all. Please know, I'm not saying that at all. And also that I know that sometimes when you have been through heartbreak or divorce or something like that, that it can be very hard to trust again, and that even if it is a soulmate person, it can be very hard to receive and to feel. It can be scary to be vulnerable. It can be scary to be like, oh yeah, I'm getting a little twang in my heart. So it's like some of you might be feeling that. It's like more scary to go on that journey forward than stay in your comfort zone and be single or be independent or be just in a constant state of healing. But I feel like you can move forward now. Release the past, move forward, trust yourself. Rhiannon, Tiger's Eye. I have the tiger. You got this, pile 3. Yeah, if this is obviously a this is obviously a collective reading, so if you want, so just take what resonates and leave the rest. I know it was a bit disjointed because there were lots of different scenarios I was picking up on for different sets of people. So I had there was a divorce storyline in there, but for some of you it was something to do with like friends and family and community, and there was a lot of different things. But if you have been going through this, if some of this resonates and you're wanting a bespoke reading to help you, like we can have a tarot therapy session 1-to-1 and go through and really connect in specifically just to you, just to your energies, what needs healing, what needs releasing, any old traumas, any old subconscious things that might be holding you back. If you're really finding that you are stuck in this patterns of sabotaging or not feeling worthy or throwing away good things, pushing away good people, it could be that there's a little bit of self-trust stuff to work on, and we can look into that. So my details are below. Feel free to check out my website if you want to book a private reading. Otherwise, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your subscribes. Thank you for watching, and all the best with this evolution and this journey. If you do go off with this person and travel, let me know. I would love to hear. And I will see you in the next reading. All my love. Take care, part 3. Bye-bye.